Welcome to a club for people who love good movies. Use the links in the description to navigate the list of films quickly. Rio. Captured by smugglers when he was just a hatchling, a macaw named Blue never learned to fly and lives a happily domesticated life in Minnesota with his human friend Linda. Blue is thought to be the last of his kind, but when word comes that Jewel, a lone female, lives in Rio de Janeiro, Blue and Linda go to meet her. Animal smugglers kidnap Blue and Jewel, but the pair soon escape and begin a perilous adventure back to freedom and Linda. Interstellar. In Earth's future, a global crop linked a second-class bowl are slowly rendering the planet uninhabitable. Professor Brent, a brilliant NASA physicist, is working on plans to save mankind by transporting Earth's population to a new home via a wormhole. But first, Brent must send former NASA pilot Cooper and a team of researchers through the wormhole and across the galaxy to find out which of three planets could be mankind's new home.
Oz, the Great and Powerful. When shady circus magician Oscar Diggs is hurled away from Kansas into the wonderful land of Oz, he thinks that fame and fortune are his for the taking. However, three witches, Theodora, Evanora, and Glinda, remain, convincing the Oscar is the great wizard that the inhabitants of Oz need and expect. Reluctantly drawn into Oz's epic problems, Oscar must find out who is good and who is evil before it's too late.
Looper. In a future society, time travel exists, but it's only available to those with the means to pay for it on the black market. When the mob wants to eliminate someone, it sends their target into the past, where a human known as a looper lies in wait to finish the job. Joy is one such hired gun, and he does his job well, until the day his bosses decide to close the loop and send Joy's future self back in time to be killed. The Fault in Our Stars. Hazel Grace Lancaster, Shailene Woodley, a 16-year-old cancer patient, meets and falls in love with Gus Waters, Ansel Elgort, a similarly afflicted teen from her cancer support group. Hazel feels that Gus fully understands her. They both share the same acerbic wit and a love of books, especially Grace's Touchstone, An Imperial Affliction by Peter von Houten. When Gus scores an invitation to meet the reclusive author, he and Hazel embark on the adventure of their brief lives.
Predestination. Predestination chronicles the life of a temporal agent sent on an interesting series of time travel journeys designed to ensure the continuation of his law enforcement career for all eternity. Now, on his final assignment, the agent must pursue the one criminal that has eluded him throughout time. Lost in Translation. A lonely aging movie star named Bob Harris and a conflicted new lawyer Charlotte meet in Tokyo. Bob is there to film a Japanese whiskey commercial. Charlotte is a compliant third celebrity photographer husband, stranger in a foreign land. The two find escape, distraction and understanding amidst the bright Tokyo lights after a chance meeting in the quiet lull of the hotel bar. They form a bond that is as unlikely as it is heartfelt and meaningful.
Source code. Helicopter pilot Colter Stevens is part of a top-secret military operation that enables him to experience the last few minutes in the life of Sean Fentress, a man who died in a computer train explosion. The purpose of Colter's mission is to learn the identity of the bomber and prevent a similar catastrophe. As Colter lives Sean's final moments, he becomes more certain that he can prevent the first tragedy from occurring, as long as he doesn't run out of time. Titanic. James Cameron's Titanic is an epic, action-packed romance set against the ill-fated maiden voyage of the RMS Titanic, the pride and joy of the White Star Line, and at the time the largest moving object ever built. She was the most luxurious liner of her era, the ship of dreams, which ultimately carried over 1,500 people to their death in the ice-cold waters of the North Atlantic in the early hours of 15th of April in 1912. Rain Man. When car dealer Charlie Babbitt learns that his estranged father has died, he returns home to Cincinnati, where he discovers that he has an autistic older brother named Raymond, and that his father's $3 million fortune is being left to the mental institution in which Raymond lives. Motivated by his father's money, Charlie checks Raymond out of the facility